If you know you cannot stand loss of 5 billion, don't venture into any business you are going to make a profit of 5 billion. Your struggle does not take you to anywhere. What takes you to the next step is grace. I'm only afraid of law of karma, because that is the only thing that does not have cure.
Can we just get to meet you? Let's know who you are and get to hear from you more about your personality before I start throwing some questions at you, sir.
Okay, just as you have mentioned, my name is Chief Kenneth Maduakor. I'm a businessman based in Anambra State, Newu precisely. I'm also from Anambra, Ihiala, Azia under Ihiala local government. I think that's all you need to know for now.
Okay. You're a very influential businessman, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa at large. So we'll be very honored to get to have some insight into some of your businesses or some of the ways you've impacted not just Nigerians, but Africa at large in your businesses.
It depends on what you want to know. Oh, we are just a servant. We work for Nigerian brewery as their distributor, international brewery as their distributor. We are into oil and gas in our small capacity, and we are also into motorcycle business.
Okay, so a very quick one about you, about your personality, sir. What are some of your routines or some of your habits that you've developed over the years that has actually impacted your life or led you in this line of success? Some regular habits that you cultivated on your own, or probably you were taught or mentored on to follow that path that has impacted your life and your success level today?
There's two key things that has kept me going. One of them is, you know, in Nigeria now, there are two common things that people don't believe is the key to success. But that is a serious key to whatever you want to do if you really want to progress. Number one is that you must learn, no matter how difficult it is, to maintain your integrity, your words. That whatever you discuss with somebody, that you must keep it that way. No matter how difficult, even if it leads you to lose, you still do it. Today you may not see the benefit, but tomorrow the benefit might even be beyond what you think or expect. So the number one thing is what we call integrity. Keeping to your words, keeping to your promise. That is number one. Number two is that you must be honest in your dealings. That whatever you are telling somebody must be what you have in mind. Don't tell somebody another thing and at the same time you are doing a different thing in reality. But you are just telling that person, let it be what that person wants to hear. No matter how bitter, no matter how bad, no matter how difficult the truth is, tell the person the truth. The truth and nothing but the truth. That truth might not work out today. The person may not like it today. But because it's the truth that you have said to that person and they didn't take it, I bet you that by tomorrow, that person might want to come back to you, because that person that lied to him, that made him abandon you and follow that person, at the end of the day, that your truth will come out. And that person may get that truth in a hard way. And definitely tomorrow will come back to you. Maybe as it's coming back to you with a bigger one.
Okay.
So these two things is the key to every business we are doing.
All right, sir. I would like to know what particular moment can you reflect back to and say it was this decision, this moment that shot you up or that skyrocketed your success to where it is right now, and that you can refer back and say, okay, it was your diligence here, your service here, or your experience on this particular thing or that thing, that you can hold on to and say it was your pivotal push to where you are today. And also, how have you been able to handle setbacks or failures when they come, maybe some challenges? How are you able to deal with them?
Okay. One thing is very clear. On your first question of what I think I did that moved me to where I am today, or the decisions I took that moved me to where I am today, I want you to know one thing. Your decisions, your actions as a human being has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with your success. Success is just grace. I want you to put that one at the back of your mind. Yes, for sure, you have to put in what I told you earlier, being honest, keep to your integrity, being steady, focus, determination, all those things. Yes, as a human being, you have to bring them on. But never you feel it's those your decisions or those your actions that will take you to wherever you are. Is grace. If God have decided to bless you, He will bless you. Because if I look back today, most of this business I did and get to where I am today, so many other people did the same with me, but they didn't get to where I am today. And I can't place that this is what I did so special that they were not able to do. It's just grace. It's just favor from God. So I can't tell you it's by my actions or it's by my decisions that took me
Or
to
by
where I
special
am today,
connections.
or by special connections. When God wants to bless you, that connections will come looking for you. You are not even the one to look for those connections. So I think that is my answer to that.
Then how have you been able to handle or deal with setbacks or challenges or some unprecedented failures that might just come up? How are you able to solve them? How are you able to react to them? Dealing with setbacks primarily.
Setbacks comes in different ways. It depends on the kind of setbacks. Different kind of setback, different kind of approach. But one thing that is clear is that first, you have to have it at the back of your mind that whenever you are doing anything called business, think about setback, think about failure, think about loss before you think about profit. Don't just get up and start thinking about profit in business. Before you think about anything called profit, think about the loss, think about the ups and downs in that business, think about so many other things that might go wrong in that business. So that you will put in place, you will put your mindset, you will put everything you are doing that I'm in this business to avoid all this. Then if the profit comes, I will be fine. If it doesn't come, I will know it's not what God wants for me. I will move forward. But the problem that people normally have is that when they are going into any business, they only plan for the profit. They only go there for the profit. They only look at the profit side of it. They don't look at the failure part and the rest of them. So in that case, most cases, they don't put in place measures to avoid those problems. When it now comes, it will hit you bad. So in any business I'm doing now, the first thing I think is, what if this business fell? What will I do? And there are so many things in life I don't do, which is maybe difficult for other people to do. I like moving slowly in whatever business I do. If you introduce me today to any business that have so much profit. When I look at it and see that that business has so much profit, I will decline. Because it's very clear. The bigger profit you target, the rest assured that that is how big the loss will be when it rebounds. When you target to make billion in business, the rest assured that when the boomerang, you will lose billions. When you target thousands, when the boomerang, you lose thousands. So when going into any business, if you are targeting to make 5 billion naira in a business, first ask yourself, if you lose 5 billion, will I stand it? If you know you cannot stand loss of 5 billion, don't venture into any business are going to make a profit of 5 billion. Because it's opposite. It's either this way or this way. And if you knew you cannot be able to bear loss of 5 billion, don't venture into business you are going to make a profit of 5 billion. So that you don't kill yourself before your time.
What are things that you have to say no to in your journey so far in life? What are things you have to say no to? And what has kept you motivated? What has kept you motivated as okay, this is your drive for your long-term goal? What has kept you motivated?
One thing that I've said no to, and I keep on saying no to it, and I will continue to say no to it, is that from my childhood till now, even before I start business, I don't want to get involved in anything that is fraudulent. Because what goes around always comes around. That is one. Two, I'm only afraid of law of karma. Some people call it law of karma. Some people call it law of nature. I'm afraid of it. Because that is the only thing that does not have cure. You won't even know when it starts. And you won't know how to get out of it. So that is one thing I'm afraid of. And that is one thing I've been avoiding from my childhood.
So looking back now, what has kept you focused? What has kept you motivated for the long-term goal? I believe there's still a long-term goal out there. What is your drive? What's your driving force?
Sorry to disappoint you. I'm a man that doesn't have target. I don't have target of where I'm going to. My focus from my childhood is open up a day. Do what you can do on that day. Close that day and sleep. Tomorrow you start again. I don't have target. I don't have anybody I'm looking up to today that I want to be like this person, or I want to get to this height, or I want to do this, or I want to achieve that. Whatever I'm going to achieve has been planned even before my birth. Where God wants me to be is where I will be. My plan, just as I told you earlier, wherever you find yourself in this world today is grace. Not your plan, because that same thing you plan and succeed. So many people have planned it and failed. Most people today that crash in their business is because you want to target, you want to do what maybe your destiny did not allow you to do, but you want to do it. Along the line, you crash because you want to overstep your boundary. What I do is I wake up in the morning, I pray, and I continue to walk and believe in God. Whatever He opens up for me for that day is His wish. And that is what He planned for me. Because, to be honest, if I should tell you today that I have a plan to get to Jerusalem, or I have a plan to get to Jordan, that is my plan. Can I be able to tell you what I planned that brought me where I am today? And if I cannot be able to explain what I have planned special that got me to where I am today, am I not going to sound stupid telling you where I want to go to? Okay, let me ask. Somebody that says he wants to go to Jordan or Jerusalem, that is his target in life, that is where I want to go to. Do you even know if you are going to live till the next 3 hours or 4 hours? Do you know? You don't know. So I don't have such plan. I don't have such target. Let me take you biblically. Only one man was called a fool in the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation. Only one man. And what did he do? He did not steal. He did not kill. He did not do anything wrong in the sight of man. But in the sight of God, God felt bad. God blessed him. But what he did was, he looked at those things that God gave to him and said, yes, my soul will now rest. From today, I will start enjoying and living the life that I want to live. God now said, you foolish man, today, I want your soul. And that is how he died. Because he did not remember that those blessings was not for him alone. It was for him and the poor ones around him. God created him, placed him on that position for other people. But now, he became self-centered. From today, I will start to enjoy my life because I am now rich. And God said, today, I'm taking you. The truth remains that you cannot, as a human being, place yourself where you want to be or where you want to go to. It's by grace. So what you do is believe in God, work hard, and then accept wherever he takes you to.
Yes, sir. So still on that same question, I would like to rephrase it this way. Now, some people are afraid of poverty. Like they know where they're coming from. So when they are striving and there is a point they would get to where it becomes very suffocating, like they want to give up. When they think about where they are coming from, the fight to continue goes on. Others, they are afraid to disappoint members of the family or probably to disappoint their children or their wives or their parents. So because of that, when they get to a particular environment and there is this so much pressure that wants to take their life or wants to make them lose everything they have, they put in extra fights because of the fact that they need to provide for these children, they need to make their wives proud of them, or their mothers proud of them, or their fathers. So there's this extra fighting inside them that gives them that strength to keep going on, aside the grace of God for that day. So do you have any of such drives that you can hold on to and say, this is something that still gives you an extra push as a human being?
Please, this is fight. Is it fight of, is it a physical fight? Is it a spiritual fight? What kind of fight is he putting? Make it more elaborate, let me understand.
Like in terms
the kind of fight he puts in.
In terms of business struggle, maybe you are encountering some difficulties or some challenges here and there that might want to overwhelm you. Sometimes you might even feel oppressed within your circle, like taking away some things from you and all those things. Then meanwhile, instead of giving up, you're like, I refuse to be discouraged. And there's something at the back of your mind that you don't want to disappoint, that will make you still keep going. Okay. So that drive.
Let me tell you something that you need to know. And take it to the bank. Put this in the back of your mind today. Your struggle is in vain. Whatever God has said about you cannot be changed. And if anybody tries to change it, that person might end up being a slave or you are a slave. Except if God has not decided. It's not by you. Let me ask you one simple question. This fight he's talking about, if he is a businessman that imports product to sell, what fight are you going to put in? Are you going to go to people's house to bring them to come and buy from you? Can you do that? Huh? Is it not when you come and open your shop or open your office or your warehouse and people called or people came and buy those things from you? Is that not where you say you are putting struggle? Your struggle does not take you to anywhere. What takes you to the next step is grace. Let me give you an example. Like now, let me use our motorcycle business to explain it clearly. You will see somebody that was settled today by his master. It doesn't have much. Before you know it, he did not go to Lagos. How much more going to China? You as his oga has been going to China looking for white people that you will connect to do business with. Nobody have agreed you that is oga. None of the white people have agreed to do business with you. And the boy you just settled that is not up to 1 year, 2 years. He didn't know anybody, just on internet or just on his phone. Before you know it, one white man has started shipping goods to him. They have not met. He has not seen him. And he will be selling, returning money. Before you know it, he has become a big man. Is that not grace? Some people have white people they are representing in this Nkwonewi market before they even know where Lagos is, how much more going to China. You that is your guy that has been going to that China has not gotten any. Is that not grace? Huh? There is no fight and struggle that you put in that is different from what every other person. If struggle makes people rich, truck pushers and barrows and these bricklayers and rest of them will be more richer because they struggle more. The only thing you have to put in is being honest and keep your integrity intact. That is those things you need to put in. And then effort, because definitely the Bible said that grace without effort is not complete. When the grace is around you, you now have to put your little effort. But never you believe is because of effort. Let me give you, when I was a child, my granddad told me something. Because my dad died early, just you are saying that somebody that doesn't want to go back to poverty. If you are from a wretched home and God has decided to take you out of that place, that God has started it in your life will never want to take you back. Because if he didn't want to take you out of that place, he wouldn't do it in the first place. But when you see somebody that came from a wretched home, that has started moving, and all of a sudden they start turning back, go and ask him, what have you done? Go and ask that person, what have you done that sent the grace of God upon you away? Some people, by their attitude, by them believing that everything is by their effort, by them believing is by their struggle, they do some certain stupid things that will block the destiny which God has given to them. I keep on telling people, this destiny you see, only 3 things can block it. You are parents. You are parents. And you are self. And God. That is the only 3 things that have power over your destiny. All this one, they will tell you, this person is not doing well. He's not doing well because somebody went to native doctor and blocked his destiny. Is not true. Check the character of your parents. Check your own character. 2 of you may be the reason for your problem. This destiny is the only thing that God hid from anybody, everybody. Nobody has power over it. So if God has destined you to be rich from that poor background, and all of a sudden you started turning back, ask yourself, what have I done? Because if you have not done anything, that God has started it in your life did not start it by mistake. He knew you from birth. You must have done something that will now make God say, no, it's over. And people look down on some certain things that can cripple you. You look down on those things that is nothing. But way of God is different from way of man. There are so many people, what is bringing them down today was things they never believed they would bring them down. And that's the thing that are bringing them down. And they are going down. If you want, I can give you one or two examples. Little things that can bring you down. For example, you see all this business we are doing. There is one law that is governing that business. You will see some, we have apprenticeship system that we use. Somebody will come serve you for 6-7 years. You will settle him. He will go and become master of his own and continue. Then some people took advantage of those kids. You will go to, because people that will give you that child to come and stay with you are poor people. No rich man will give you his child to come and stay with you. You will now go and take the boy. He will spend 5-6 years with you. Towards the end of that 6 years or 7 years, you will now start giving excuses. That is, you see him with this girl today, you see him in the other beer parlor today. Since 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, you didn't see it. It's towards that end that you start seeing those things. And before you know it, you send them out. Or before you know it, you give him peanuts because you are looking for an excuse to send them out. Good. You can do that. But my brother, today I'm telling you, that thing is one of the major things that have killed so many big men or so many people that have come up. Is one of the major things that have killed their business. Because once you do it, and that boy is innocent, bet me your children will go and beg that boy for help tomorrow. How that boy will rise, you won't know. But you will see him rising. And you will start going down. And if you are a boy that goes for that same thing and starts stealing your guy's money, continue to steal that money, continue to steal his money and save here and there, buy a motor for your girlfriend, do this and do that. If eventually your guy settled you, give it 3 years, give it 4 years, that boy will go down. At the beginning, you will see him rising. You will think he's growing. He's not growing. He's bringing out all those money he stole. When you look at him, you think he's growing. He's not growing. He's bringing them out. And people will say, hey, he's growing, he's growing. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you see him on the ground. Max 4 years, you see him on the ground. By then, people used to say he's struggling. He doesn't want to be poor. He doesn't want to do this. He has never left poverty for 1 day. Those things was cosmetics. Because when you are stealing your money that has that clear mind that I want to help this boy, and later he settled you, that money he gave you was like someone taking oracle. You must surely go down. Whether you like it or you don't like it, except you go back to confess, you will go down. So it depends on what is hooking that person that wants to go back. You can't fight poverty on your own. You can only struggle to fight it by putting in line the things you need to put in line, putting a good life, honest life, put your integrity, then work hard to get out of it, and God will bless you and God will follow you. That grace will help you come out of it. You cannot come out of poverty by stealing. You can't come out of poverty by doing a lot of things. You cannot. And any money you start with wrong foundation, no matter how big that money is, it can only last your own lifetime, but you can never transfer it. You will be alive and see that your children that your actions and your steps has destroyed your kids. You may not want to tell anybody why they are behaving the way they are behaving. You may not even know on your own. But the truth is that your actions is what they are paying the price.
Wow, that's very, 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 very insightful. You've said some very, very deep truths, and without mincing words too. Very, very blunt about it too. Okay, let's deviate a little bit. What's your take on the economic situation in the country right now, generally, with the dollar fluctuation, the hardships? When dollar came down, prices of goods didn't come down. They remain there, and it's as if the businessmen wanted the dollar to go up again for them to, the very unstable economic situation recently, in recent times. What's your take on the economic challenges situation in the country at large right now?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And I will not be surprised. Until we start doing things right, things can never get right. Every businessman in Nigeria knows that what we are doing is gambling. We are not planning. There is no way you can plan with a stable economy. As a businessman, you can never plan with a stable economy. The truth now is that people are confused. Both the importers, both the buyers. The only thing that is selling in Nigeria is eatable things. That is the only thing selling in Nigeria. Even if you increase those ones more, people will still buy. But I want to tell you, other things are not selling.
Really?
Yeah, not other things are not selling. Whether you increase the price or you bring it down, is not selling. Most people or most businesses say they are not bringing their price down. Their problem is that even the ones that have reduced the price, they are not selling. And if you calculate your product today with 1,500 and sell, and tomorrow the price is the dollar is 1,800, you're already losing. If you calculate in 1,200 today and sell, tomorrow is 1,004, you are losing. The same way, the people that are supposed to buy that thing from you is holding on their naira. Because if they come to you today and buy on the value of 1,500 and tomorrow is 1,000, he have lost 50% of his money or 30% of his money. He doesn't want to buy. He wants to keep his naira to himself and continue to wait. Is he going down or is he going up? So everything in Nigeria now is standstill. And whatever that is happening in Nigeria today, as far as I'm concerned, my own view, I don't know about another person, I'm talking about my own view, is cosmetics. There is no reality on ground. Because they knows what they are doing and what they want to achieve, nobody knows for now. And where they want to take us to, nobody knows. If they're going to bring us down, we don't know. If they're taking us up, we don't know. The right thing in Nigeria now is for you to just sit and watch the drama. Because you can't tell me you are bringing the dollar down, but LC have not started flowing in the banks. If you want to import anything now, you cannot establish letter of credit through CBN. So how can you tell me that things is better or that things is getting better? Any day CBN open up now, that if any businessman wants to import, you open your letter of credit and your white man is paid immediately, he submit the documents and everything start going on purely and legal as it's supposed to be. Then now we know, yes, we are back. But for now, the way things is going, I don't understand it. I'm blind. I'm in dark. I don't understand anything. There is no LOC. There is no fund queue. So, what is government telling us? What are they preaching? That is the hard truth they have not told us. So until LC start flowing, that is when we will know the real situation on ground. That is when we will know the real economic situation. But for now in Nigeria, anybody that is telling you the economy is this, the economy is that, the economy is this or that person is just, I can say the person is just guessing. He's not sure of what he's saying. The only person that knows the exact, but I don't know if the truth is very easy or the truth is very convenient for him to tell Nigerians, is CBN governor and his boss being the president. It's the only two of them that I knew that knows exactly what is going on. And it's until they come out with that truth, without being economical about it, that is when we will know the true situation. But for a country to have lasted for almost a year without LC flowing, think about it now. Something is wrong. There are something they are not telling us. But we all will wait patiently. It might be for good, it might be for bad.
Have you ever had any political aspirations as an individual? Maybe participated in political responsibilities, or maybe in the future?
Vying for post, right?
Yes.
Vying for any political post, right? Okay. Let me just say it very clear. I have not, and I don't have interest, and I will never have interest.
Any particular reason why? You don't have anything against?
I don't have anything against who wants to go into it. I don't have anything against who is doing it. I have some brothers, I have some friends that are into it. They are not my enemy. If they are going for it on that personal ground, there is anything they want me to do within my reach that I can do for them, I will do it as personal friend or brother, not as a politician.
Okay. Two final questions to go. It's from my research about you. I understand that you're a philanthropist. You love working, and as a matter of fact, throughout this interview, you've always talked about the grace of God, love of God, the workings of God. So it's very clear that you're a Christian and you support the gospel to a very high level, to the best of your capacity. Now, with this passion and this fire that's burning inside you for the work of God, with the current and the recent mishaps here and there about churches, men of God and everything, has it affected your commitment into what you normally enjoy doing, or probably you've withdrawn or you've redirected your philanthropism in regards to the work of God or the people of God?
Okay, the only thing that is going to change something in you or that is going to affect you is something that came as a surprise. All this thing that is happening now never come to me as a surprise. As a matter of fact, I have started preaching against all this, just that I don't go viral. But I've started preaching against all this for about 7 to 5 years now. If you ask anybody that knows me too well, I started reaching the poor direct for over 20 years now. I don't believe in giving to the church anymore. From onset, when we were a child, I happened to be one of them. The church is for the poor. If you are a reverend father or a pastor, then when we have only Assemblies of God, Anglican, Catholic, Deeper Life, and this Orthodox, the church we met together in it the other time. When they came into any community, The first thing they do is to locate the wretched people there. Reverend fathers have days they visit the poor and the sick. They have days they visit them, the poor and the sick. It's a routine, something for them. They do it every week. They have their days. And by doing that those days, there are some wretched homes where they will go to. They will feel bad, and you will see them. If there's any little boy there or whatever, they will pick them and take them to church. Those are those boys that those days they were called Omo Father. Some people call them church rats. Because if you come to the church, there might be up to 15, 20 little boys like that. That is those days that those boys will be in those schools in the church by that Reverend Father free. He feeds them. He clothes them. Most of these Reverend Fathers, old Reverend Fathers now, 60% of them were trained by church. They were trained by church. If anybody says I'm lying, let him quote me wrong. They were trained by church. Most of the bishops were trained by church. Some of them, the community contributed to pay their school fees. Some the church paid. But as I was growing up, I noticed that the method is changing. What I am telling you is not about Catholic Church, it's not about Anglican, it's not about Deeper Life, it's not about these new ones now is even the worst. And at a point, I discovered that what we have now is competition among them. Which church is more beautiful? Whose car is more sophisticated? Whose suit is more whatever and whatever? A lot of things started happening in the church. Along the line, I discovered that the church has failed. Read my lips. The church have failed. I don't think we still have up to 30% of all this, up to 30% of all the people that call themselves man of God that are still ready to serve God, that are not so self-centered about themselves. I know what you're talking about all this tithe issue. They are blabbing in the social media. I'm ashamed of them. They're only disgracing themselves. Both the ones talking about it and the ones defending it, all of them are disgracing themselves. Because I don't know if they really read their Bible or if they don't read their Bible. But when you go to Deuteronomy, it was Deuteronomy 26 that stated it clearly. You start from 11. It stated it clearly that tithe those days were mentioned for the poor, the widow, the stranger, the Gentiles, the sick, and whatever. Yes, in that place, whosoever that is head of the church is supposed to be involved. But I must tell you, when we are a child, after giving offerings on Sunday, come to that church. My own Catholic church is what I'm telling you then. In my parishes, Nazia, when Father Ochoba and Father Chukwuleta them and the rest of them were in that church. I'm mentioning them. Chukwuleta is still alive today, is in US now. And so many other dead. On Monday when you go there, you see those poor people line up. He will be sharing those plantain and the yam and so many other things that people came to give to the church as offering. He will be sharing it to the poor. These days, does that happen? No is the answer. Olden days, if you have a pastor or a reverend father or whatever, if a poor man or a poor woman or a poor widow have issue of people trying to intimidate or suppress her, her shortcut is to run to the church. And the head of that church will take over the matter. But today, no. It doesn't work that way anymore. If a poor person run to any of these churches by 7:30 today or 7, they will tell you, no, that's gone to bed, they have locked gate you. Don't you know there is insecurity? Don't you know there is this one and that one? They come tomorrow. And they are telling you that somebody is dying. But that same gate that has been locked by 7 because of its security, let siren blow on that gate by 12. You will see that pastor or that reverend. He will come out and ask his people to open that gate. Didn't you hear that home? Because the church now respect the rich, not to take care of the poor. And they knew that the tithe they are collecting is not for them. It's for the poor in their church. But what they do is to even preach it more and collect. You are taking tithe from a poor person that doesn't have a job. That his job is not even up to minimum wage. You will tell him first fruit. You will even collect that one and put in your own because they don't read their Bible. Because they don't read their Bible. God sent what is it called to go to David and tell him that something happened in his community. That there is a man, a very rich man, he has sheep, he has goats, he has so many things. But he had a stranger. And that stranger came to his house. And when the stranger wants to go, upon all the sheep he have, upon all the goats, everything he has in his house, he didn't even feel to take any of them. He went to the poor person by his side that have only one sheep and take it and give to that stranger. And God said, ask David to go and tell that man that he must die, that his generation must be destroyed because he has done that. All those pastors are just talking nonsense. Let them be rest assured that message of God is not for the people you are saying it to, including you are involved. Let them know that same message God sent to David, that same message is being sent to them today. Who it came from does not matter. But let them be rest assured that what they are doing is to take the only lamb that is found in the house of the poor man is what they are taking. Not minding the whole sheep, lambs, goats, whatever they have is not enough for them. They are taking from the poor. And that same message God sent to David to go and tell him that the man must surely die, that the king must surely die. That same message is going to all of them. Let them continue to take from the poor. And they have that Bible that will judge them in their hands. There is no time I could have bring my Bible and start reading them for you, verse by verse, chapter by chapter. They cannot run away from it. What I told you now was in 2 Samuel. They cannot run away from it.
I think obviously we have to fix a different interview to get your deeper insights into your theological sense of reasoning, because it seems like you're very acquainted with your Bible and in depth with the scripture. So we need to create another time to learn from your insights into the Word of God. But very quickly, sir, in conclusion, for this particular segment of our interview, what advice do you have for the youths, in very few words, for the youths out there seeing the kind of restiveness, that drive for wealth, quick wealth, nobody wants to work anymore, the drive for violence and everything, the insecurity? What advice do you have for the youths at large, or for them to encourage them into doing something, or so what they can get into, or how they can start in anything they really want to put their minds into? What advice do you have for not just only the youth, even for other businessmen who might want to kick off something? You've already said a lot about businesses, but what advice do you have for the young people who want to start up something, or anyone out there who want to start up something?
It's very simple. My advice is very straight. For those businessmen, please try to maintain honesty and integrity. It's very, very key to every success. If you don't do it, if it doesn't hit you today, it will hit you tomorrow. It's sure. All the people that I started with at the same time that want to play a fast one, eat the money that was given to them on credit by white people and feel when they eat that money they have arrived. Most of them now are hungry because you have finished eating that money, but that business cannot flow anymore. As for the youths, tell them that any business that is not genuine business, whatever you are doing that is not genuine, have expiration dates. And when that expiration date comes, it will expire. And when it expires, you go back to square one. Whether you like it or you don't like it. You have to know when Oliver de Coke, I don't want to mention names, when Oliver de Coke sang Ndagrega Walanawa, do you know the meaning of that? You don't know the meaning of that? Do you know the meaning of Andewo over there? Huh? Right. Okay. Ndagrega Walanawa are people that meet up at early age. Huh? When he sang that song. And when Oliver de Coke sang that song, he called Andewo over there. There are people that owns the land. Huh? Let them go and take, the advice I'm giving to them today is let them go and get those 2 records. Listen to those names mentioned in those 2 records. Those days, that was 90s. Those names, because then was like this now. The way now the Yahoo thing is running now was when the one that ran those days where they call it then 419. Go and look at it. All those people that their name was mentioned, if they are 50, I am sure today up to 5 is not alive. And that money is not there. Their families are nowhere to be found anymore. They are the people that say they own the land. Those of us that didn't own the land are still in this place struggling, moving. But we don't own this land. They own the land, but they are not here anymore to own that land. Those people, most of them are no more here. Let them know that every wrong step have expiration date. And when that time of expiration comes, it will expire. And once it expires, you are back to square one. And remember, this is the final thing you have to tell them. When you don't think between your age of 12, age of 10 to age of 18, there is something in your brain that needs to break on its own. When that thing breaks, sense of reasoning, your sense of reasoning will come up. If you don't struggle and believe in facing illegality to succeed, when you get to 30, 35, 40, and it makes fire, and you now want to think on what you will do to survive, it will not work anymore. That's your sense of resilience. You need to think like a man and break it before your age of 18, 20. Legitimately, not in illegality. That is my advice to them. Let them understand that every wrong step have expiration date. All I will do is just to pray that God will place His grace upon this your TV channel. And what will happen in near future will be things that people will be surprised and said, how manage. I just pray that God will help you for your heart desire to come to pass. Anybody that wants to walk on a legitimate way, God will always want to support that person to succeed. Your own case will not be different. So let God bless whatever you are doing in Jesus' name. And I say let the people watching them also continue to watch and continue to post them and continue to share this subscribe so that they will be able to bring to you whatever they they have in their cupboard to give you. And then you, the Noble TV, will try and be upright and give people also what will benefit them and what will make them live a better life. And at the end of the day, let them know there is still life after here. This is not the end of it. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir.